We're here to document the process of serography, or screen printing. My name is David Dottie, and I'm the co-founder and creative director for Wide-Eyed Magazine. This serography is a term that's usually reserved for printing paper, which is my favorite medium to print on. It creates really dense, rich color, unlike lithography. This, however, is really breaking it down to a craft, to very tactile, very hands-on, and it has a mind of its own. Some of the most current and I guess famed screen printers: Shepard Fairey, Coop, Tim Biscuit, Kozik. These are all guys that have used this process in various means throughout their careers. I became fascinated by it when I first saw Warhol's work, and then I saw photographs of Warhol pulling a squeegee across something on the floor, and thought, that is just amazing. And it was those cats that took what was up to that point really just a commercial process, and took it out of the commercial world and brought it into the fine art world. Here we are 20, 30 years later, and the stuff is just amazing. The accidents, the happy accidents, are just phenomenal. And we've come a long way since then. The process has been refined, but there's still that, the ink's gonna do what the ink's gonna do. The screens, every process, every part of the process is a step away from the computer, or a step away from the hand, and again, you get these beautiful outcome, and you just, when that last color goes down, it's just like serendipity. It just blows your mind. It's just the most amazing process. So we're going to show today the process of printing the first wide-eyed cover. So what it is it's the process of taking a screen, all kinds of different ways and methods to make a screen, but this happens to be an aluminum frame, oversized screen. What you have is a mesh, and the mesh is this is silk screening. This is your silk screen. Now they're nylon and composites and all kinds of modern materials, but the process is the same as when they use silk to do this. You have a frame with screen stretched over it. You then coat the entire screen with a photosensitive emulsion, which basically blocks out all the mesh. So now you're starting with a blank canvas or a blank stencil. Then through the process of your art process, traditionally it was done with Rubylith and cameras, and basically you need to create a piece of artwork that is one color plate, one color, and it has to have a 100% opacity, so that when you apply that artwork to this screen after it's been coated, you put it into a exposure unit which exposes it to UV light. Everywhere that the light hits, the emulsion hardens. You then you simply just wash it. You pull your film off and you simply wash off what's there. What you end up with is basically a really fancy stencil, just like cutting a stencil in paper. This one allows ink to flow through only the open screen, and the emulsion blocks out the rest of it. So thus, one color is laid down at a time. That's why the process to me is so fascinating. You can do one color and have it look gorgeous, or you can do 20 colors and have a completely different result. And that's something different and unique to screen printing. It's one of the only mediums that allows you to print white onto black. The other great thing about screen printing is that you can print on anything. Anything. It's all alchemy. It's just what your inks are. It's just what ink you choose for what material. Obviously being a huge music fan, otherwise we would be doing Wide-Eyed Magazine. This is about music, and it's about music as the center of this, and then all the supporting components that music generates around it. It can generate artwork, it generates cover art, they're all intertwined and linked together in a beautiful way. And so what Wide-Eyed is a magazine attempting to bring all these things together in a compelling and interesting way. And it's not that it's not being done right now, but I do think it's a unique product, or I wouldn't be involved with it. We're going to put out this thing with all these components, with all this energy forced into this little book as really a work of art, as a communication device every month. And then we're going to give it away for free. What we're doing differently, I think, is we're going to, because you can't communicate great craft online, in my opinion. You can do very technically savvy things, but again, I go back to the caveman mentality. We lose power, and all that creative is gone. We're so dependent on the electricity for this medium that, to me, it takes away the romance of the medium. It can't stand on its own. And that's another thing I love about screen printing, is that I've got my shop set up pretty much that I can function off the grid. I'm on the grid, but it's low power. I can burn screens with the sun if I want to. I can screen print without pretty much any technology, without any power. I can screen print. And obviously, because that's why it's that old of a process. And I think that is just a really, again, a very romantic and fascinating dynamic of the process. This is one method using serography to create, a poster, not a product, not a T-shirt, or that's again a whole nother animal. I gotta think that Alco Sunset. Nice. One last flood. Wait. And that's a poster. That's all